Did you hear the latest diss track from the Supreme Court? It was like, forget you gays, those in debt and black people.
They said fuck all y'all.
Y'all gonna have to buckle up for this one. Let's get going. Oh, it's such a shame. I was having such a good week. I was like, maybe I don't need to do virtual road rage this week. I started my summer program. That's going pretty good. The weather, despite the air quality, temperature wise, it was solid. Like I could skip to my loo. I ain't like I wasn't dying of humidity. Maybe one day, but like majority of the week, it was just fairly pleasant. Besides Canada's wildfire aftermath, and then Supreme Court just just dropped it like it's hot, like it's the latest Beyonce album, and I'm just like.
Mm.
All right, let's get racing, y'all. Jesus Christ. If you are new to the show, actually, wait, let me go back. Let me go back. Wait, hold on. If you are new to this show, I'm your favorite CEO, Miss Flo, and this is Virtual Road Rage, where basically just rant about things that piss me off, and I go on a drive in Mario Kart because I don't have my license. But it's more eco-friendly, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, do our best in Mario Kart and just for the past couple episodes I've been talking about more things like going on in my life, but the internet and the news is undefeated this week. Like it's going smoothly. It was like the universe was like, let me know. And I am just like amazes me how we keep going backwards. You
Every day.
know, every day I'm just like Stonewall don't matter, Black lives don't matter, like your student debt, your education doesn't matter. So let's go ahead and get into this. Let's just drive it off. Let's just drive it off, everyone. But before that, I just want to acknowledge my new door. It's not new. I painted it, and it's giving. I'm proud of
It
myself. I
is.
did this by myself. And shout out to Blick, the art material store that's like downtown in DC. Like they really hooked me up with the materials I needed. I will say that I will never use a spray can again. That was it was a little bit too much. Like it was quick. Like it was quick drying and all of that, but I have to realize like I live in a condominium and I really didn't want to paint outdoors. And I'm gonna tell you the story like as I'm like going through this to the gameplay and setting up. Like
Hmm.
I really don't. I feel very self-conscious about it. Um, Mostly because it's like I don't want people looking at me while I'm doing this. This is a creative process. Like I really think it out. And it was a bit of a learning experience because I realized I kind of taped it wrong. I would say it turned in terms of what I had in my head, this was as close to it. It was just a lot of mistakes that I had made. Um, I'm always gonna keep my inkling black. All right. So yeah, but I'm very happy how it turned out. Like on the screen, it looks great.
Hmm.
Like it's giving grunge, it's giving distorted punk rock and all of that. But up close, but don't worry, you're never gonna see it up close. I'll do a separate post for that to just kind of explain my whole process. But it's like I'm very proud because I really wanted to have like a fun set and all of that. So like I'm really glad on how that turned out. So that's a positive note. 'Cause I always like to start this like in a positive note, not be in despair. Let me change my vehicle up. I still
It's
think
really nice.
yeah, like I still think I do better on like a motorcycle as opposed to a car. So we're gonna go with that, and I just need that give me better traction because like I keep sliding off so bad. Let me see if I keep it. Okay, so I'm gonna keep this in the family. I think this is all together. We're gonna try this vehicle. So let me try. So TikTok clock. Let's try there. All right, we always got to do the solo race because the biggest competition is myself.
Period.
So let's go. All right, so let's before we dive into Supreme Court, this is just like things that have been very weird.
Hmm.
Elon Musk. So one post I see him like fighting the dude from Facebook in a
Oh
random
God.
boxing match, and I'm like, who asked for this? Are rich people just bored at this point? Oh my God. I crashed like okay, but we're gonna get it together. We're gonna get like like I really think that's fake. I just ain't no way that's real. And if it is real, I question everything in society right now because
Girl.
like you just have these billionaires just boxing it out for fun, like it's Fight Club.
Let
It's
them
like,
do it out, sis. Let them do it.
but it was in like the venue. Like first of all, y'all billionaires, y'all couldn't pick a better spot. Like I really like Saquon. I really don't think it's real. It's like I'm looking at it and like this has to be a deep fake. And
But
then
when when Elon first, because it was all Elon loves starting shit. I remember when he first was talking shit on Twitter. What's the other guy's name that owns Facebook? What's the name?
Zuckerberg.
Yeah, Zuckerberg doesn't have Twitter. So somebody had to physically tell Zuckerberg what Elon said, and Zuckerberg posted like fucking like they were teenage girls. He posted something on like Instagram or something like that, and he was like, what did he say? He was like bet win or like something like that. He was like name a time, name a place, and I was like, what the fuck are we, teenagers?
It's like don't understand like these are people that control millions of dollars and currently the most oh my God.
Hmm.
Hold on. Let me pause the game real quick because like the brakes are sliding. Like why are we sliding here? Okay, let me get my footing so I could okay. Okay, we're gonna resume. Alright. Alright. But I'm just like, y'all make all this money. Like y'all the one percenters. Ugh. And y'all are just like what are we doing here? Like
Girl,
it don't seem like real life anymore. You know what I mean?
because you know why? Because it's not worth fucking hell. I don't know what we did. I don't know what us current people did, but I know what the fuck the old people did in the good old days. I know what they did, so I don't know why I'm being charged for their fucking sins. Oh my god, it is ghetto. Earth is so damn ghetto.
I'm saying, and I'm just like, but then Elon wants to pull another stunt in shenanigans. I don't know if he got hit too hard a couple of times, but he's going to restrict our Twitter feed? For what? Understand, like,
I
what would be the purpose?
Okay, so I I was looking at it and it says let me just say the details real quick. Let me read it verbatim.
Mm.
So give me a second. Where is my? I retweeted it. This is just like this is getting ghetto.
Like, I
So
don't understand.
Here goes the post. Twitter is temporarily, I don't know about that, temporarily limiting the amount of posts a user can read daily. Verified accounts, that means accounts with little that pay to have a little blue check mark. Those are verified accounts. Can view up to 6,000 posts. Unverified accounts, just regular average everyday people like you and motherfucking me, can only view 600 posts.
And I
And
have
new
a huge problem with that because now you're
Mhm.
restricting information
Yes.
to the lower class.
Mhm.
That's what it's giving.
Yes.
And
And
I'm just like, now it's a privilege to know what's going on.
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm like, yo, and I'm gonna tell you, the internet is undefeated. People are like, well, time to go back to MySpace. Is
Girl,
MySpace
it's
still around?
ghetto. Ghetto.
That's
Earth
a
is so
legit
damn
question.
ghetto.
Like, I was surprised. Like it's so weird. Like, what is there to gain from that? Like, I guess he's really trying to get people um, to, purchase that blue check. But to be honest, like, I'm not gonna be able to really sit through to either type or look through 6,000 tweets. Like, I'm not. It's just
Girl.
like, but you have to understand, like, well, I would say this is probably possible depending on how many people you actually follow. You know what I mean? Whether it's your close friends or if you're following um, the news, and just to keep up, whether it's national or from CNN and MSNBC or your local stuff like Killer Mo Network or
Mhm.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Thank you for bringing that up. That reminds me of perfect TikTok I seen earlier this week. Basically, this guy was saying that how like um news channels like Fox 5 and stuff like that, certain local news stations, news channels, they use Twitter to send out massive tweets to like hey, there's a fire downtown, just to keep the community that they're involved in up to date on what's happening. Because of Elon's new shit, they have to pay to do stuff like that. So
so
now yes, absolutely. Hold on, I'm gonna share the TikTok with you. 1 second. It's just so fucking ghetto living in like God, it's horrible. It's nothing's good. Ugh. Let's just ugh.
just
Give me a second.
like it's just more and more
Girl.
apparent. Like, I just want the delusion to end because we keep saying like this is the land of the free. We have this has to be like a constitutional violation, right? To like
Girl.
freedom of the press, right? It has to be. So my whole thing is, oh my God, I'm just staring everywhere. And I better make over this up. Like, I don't understand. Thank you. Like, y- okay, like this has to, like, I feel like eventually, like, Twitter is going to be taken to the Supreme Court because ain't no way that you are going to restrict information. And every day we're becoming more and more um,
hmm
like a dictatorship.
We are a third world country. Like, like I don't know how else to break it to you, but like we are literally a third world country.
Because there's ain't no way, like, y'all working to restrict access to information. At first, because originally, wasn't it like more so to stop the spread of misinformation? I could see regulations
hmm
on that. Because
hmm hmm
sometimes, a rumor or a joke could be misinterpreted as real, and then itself
Yes,
needs to
absolutely,
be policed.
absolutely.
Um, but the
But we,
restriction, like,
girl, it is ugly, ugly as hell in here. I'm trying to find my
and I'm just thinking, like, if you're a business and you're trying to, you know, get your customers, get a base, and in order to do that, a lot of times you have to be, you know, really active
hmm
online just for the algorithm to notice you and to get people. So this is very concerning. Now, like I said
I'm
before,
trying.
I don't think, well, to be honest, I
Mhm.
would be on Twitter like that for real, for real. I'm more on Instagram. You know what I mean? And a
Mhm.
lot of people have said like Twitter just isn't what it used to be anyway. Once Elon took it over, a lot of people were saying, well, it's kind of going downhill. Um, you know what I mean? So I'm just wondering, like, will there be a movement where everybody just deactivates their Twitter? You just use Instagram, TikTok, uh, and other social media platforms because there's probably more that's on the rise, to be honest.
Mhm. Mhm.
You know what I mean? I don't know how successful it would be. Like maybe Clubhouse will have uh a resurgence or Bingo.
Here it
I
is.
don't
I
know.
found the
Bingo.
TikToker.
I feel like Bingo is kind of too messy. I tried it when it was like first went out, and I'm just like, dude told me to be successful on the app, I had to be a hoe. So I don't. mm, I don't know how much it's changed or if it's classed up somewhat, um, but my whole thing is like, bro, can I? What was it? Okay. Well, all I gotta say is, at this point, I feel like we don't really need Twitter at this point. It's too much going on. If they're gonna restrict and just price gouge, I think it would be a huge statement if, people just left the platform. Because at this point, it doesn't seem like it's worth it. And it's a shame because a lot of times, like if you just like keep the notification button, you could get like the latest updates on things happening in your where you at. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But I think it's if they're starting doing these restrictions like this is like it's too much. And it also shows like how desperate Elon is to make his money back. It sounds like
Yeah,
he's it ain't gonna happen. So
and girl, like I've been telling everybody a long time ago, this is the land of the free as long as you got the money to be free. Period.
oh my God,
This
I
is
thought I could do this
like,
real quick.
girl, if you ain't got no money, this is not the country for you. Just plain blank. Period. If you ain't making headlines with your money, then you just ain't. This. Then you're just a slave in this country. Modern slaves. That's all. That's all we are. Oh, where is that fucking TikTok? He posts a lot. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Da, da, oh
But
my god.
yeah. But the news just gets worse from here. Speaking of slavery, it seems like um the consequences of it or and the efforts of trying to make it right or like having a leveling the playing field is
Mhm.
not happening at all. So the Supreme Court made three decisions, and I think it was in a week.
Mhm.
They said, and I don't know the order that it came out, but these are the three things. If you know the order, let me know. They were like, they're taking away affirmative action. They are, they're not going. They crushed the student loan forgiveness plan that President Biden had. Um, and they basically gave homophobes, transphobes, a loophole in a way to discriminate against them, and using religion. It's like,
Mhm.
and they did all of this. See, all of this came out the last day of Pride, like of June. Did it?
Yeah. It was like the last like 2 days, I think.
I'm just like, why y'all like this? I feel like it was very intentional
Mhm.
because
It
they
was.
knew if they did it in the middle of Pride, it would be more outrage. But I feel like
Mhm.
well, no, I don't think. Let me take that back. I don't think this would, no matter when they would drop it. the outrage I think will still be pretty much the same.
Hmm.
I think people are really going to um they're not gonna take
People do
this.
whatever the hell they want to do at the end of the day.
Like I really want
But
there's a part of me that I got like Monday and not like I do have Monday and Tuesday off. Like I really want to like take my camera and go down to the Supreme Court to see, what the protest looks like. Because I know there's got to be
that
people
would
out
be
there
amazing.
marching.
Yeah. Also, I sent you that guy's TikTok. I sent the directly on Instagram. Please watch it because he makes some great points. I know you don't have TikTok, but like this guy really talks his shit. Like I love it.
On Twitter? Is it
Yeah.
about Twitter or the Supreme Court?
Yes. It's about Twitter. It's about Twitter.
Okay. Yeah, but I
But
was
but so far
wait,
about
go
the
ahead.
Supreme Court.
Huh?
God. Okay, so I looked up more facts about it, about the Supreme Court judgment, and it's and again, I don't understand why the fuck this makes a difference. But it's not discrimination in the sense of like what we think. Like what is it? I guess they're basically saying that they can't fire somebody, like they can't like discriminate, like fire somebody about being gay, but they can refuse certain services, like as a business shit, if somebody's gay.
So
Like
they
for
can turn them
example,
away, but that's still a form of discrimination.
oh no, there's definitely forms of discrimination, but they're this is the part that I think is funny. Twitter is flagging it like as misinformation, as if that's not the case. Twitter is basically flagging it saying that I'm trying to find the tweet. I retweeted it so long ago. But basically, Twitter is like flagging the tweet as if it's not that type of discrimination. And I'm like, Elon, please go to hell, because why is Twitter flagging this as misinformation?
No, it's definitely a discrimination. It's basically in from what I'm hearing about it and how it's
Hmm.
being explained, it
Hmm.
sounds like okay, I could claim on my religious value the same based on my religion, I cannot support anybody that or provide services to anybody that is gay or trans.
Hmm. Hmm.
So the Supreme Court saying that is within my rights.
Yeah.
So,
So
but it's
what this
like
also means, what this also means, a lot of people don't know this, all form of businesses can do this, not just bakery shops or little
I
other
think she was
things.
a
If-
web designer.
yeah,
That's
like
what
if you
started.
are, yeah, that's what started it, but like all businesses, meaning if you have your own private practice, you can like if and again if you have the money, you want to go to a private practice, they can turn you away just because you're gay. Meaning you can, unless you want to go to like not like some other form of medical help, then that's what it is. Like you have to go to like a non-private practice of medical helping, because if you go to a private practice one, then they can turn you away just because you're gay. Meaning, depending on where you are in America, certain places can turn you away and affect your fucking health, and I think that's horrible.
I mean, there was already some, legislation about like denying
Hmm.
trans kids of gender affirming care.
Hmm.
But was that
Hmm.
reversed? I think that was reversed. Supreme Court blocked that, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. And y'all can correct me as
Honestly,
well in the chat as well. Because we know the whole point of, the live stream is that we also hear from y'all and your opinions on what we're talking about.
period, Pooh.
But yeah, I mean, it's very frightening because I'm like, okay, so if an emergency, like I am bleed, oh my God, like I am bleed, what? These new courses, I may have to download the new maps and to get familiar because this ain't it. Where
Girl, we are
does I
living in a
have
third world
any
fucking country.
points with like online at this point? What is
And see,
that? What
this is what
am
I mean. I'm still currently scrolling on Twitter to find that one tweet that I retweeted. Because again, some of us not only use, Twitter for, like to find funny shit, but some of us also like to spread, information through Twitter. That's what Twitter is, was here to do, spread information.
I?
In the sense of like, um, even if it is misinformation at that moment, it still spreads awareness, and I think that's the thing that's like that's lacking, especially in America. It's not so much as like if information is correct or not correct. It's about the information is about just
This was
simply being
just
aware
one
of certain
lap.
information.
This was so long. I'm
You way
sorry.
so.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh my
She
God.
said, "Look,
I don't.
we're making a left turn."
Is this map? The new maps are so confusing. Like, even though they have signs of like where to turn, it's like,
Hmm.
how? It's just weird. It's just very weird. And then I don't know what that thing is. Okay, continue.
Yeah, but like, and I think that's a problem that a lot of people have in this country. Like, it because everyone's like, oh, it's misinformation, fake news, fake news, fake news. I don't think that that is a problem. Fake news is a problem.
Mm.
Misinformation is a problem. But I think the bigger thing that we are needing from all this is that we are at least spreading
Am
awareness
I
of some
going
form of
the
information.
wrong way? There looked like where's the U-turn? Am I going the right way? They were just going the opposite direction. No, I'm so confused. I know I lost this race, and I'm just trying to figure out like, yo, am I so behind? Like,
I
bro.
guess. Wow. I guess that flag for misinformation is gone. So I guess it's not that. I guess they can discriminate you from all forms because I'm looking at the tweet I posted, and
So
again, it's
confused. Like they just passed me again, but like in the opposite direction. Like what? But usually I would get the U-turn. I'm so confused. Like I don't know what's happening. If
I
y'all
believe
played
you.
this map, let me know what I did wrong.
I believe in you. That map don't believe in you, but I believe.
Mm, Go ahead, continue. I'm sorry. I'm just like very confused.
Yeah. But girl, it is just crazy. Like all this shit is just ugh. It's not given. Not given at all. At fucking all.
Just
Also,
say
with
if
that being
uh,
like, sorry. But also with that being said, is that again, a lot of us aren't seeing this as we're so caught up like, oh, this is misinformation, this is false information, and that can cause even more chaos and habit. But there, what is the old saying? And there are some truth in all lies, or some shit like that. I think that we all have to like just sit there and just like educate and like inform ourselves because ain't no way for fuck that all this is fake fucking news. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
Like there's like it's just so weird how I don't know.
Imagine if you're black, gay, and in student debt. I just think
Yeah,
you just probably need all
this
the
just
hugs, just
mm,
like free happy hour at this point because ain't no way. Like I know they are feeling it right now. I'm not even
girl.
dealing with, I'm fortunate enough like I don't have student loans, but I can't imagine like just living with that. You know what I'm saying? Like I hear people talk about it. I like people have done what they can to help alleviate it. I know there was like, teaching, like I think if you teach for a certain number of years, your loans will be forgiven and most people can't even, survive that. And you know, um isn't even that far off. Okay. I'm just bouncing off the sides, like, yo.
That map is really fucking you up, sis, huh?
This is a new one,
Hmm.
and I think it's supposed to be look like Sydney, Australia. Can we just get bumpers on the map so I'm just not going off the edge?
Also, do you see what's going on in France? girl.
And that's these new maps are like confusing. I probably had to purchase the maps just so like I could really practice, but I don't know how much that will help me in this case. I really don't. I'm just thankful for like the torpedo because like at least the torpedo know where to go. I'm looking at
Yeah,
I'm like, huh? Like where's the turn? Like, you know? Like it's crazy. I just need to practice more, especially like not just when I stream, but yeah. And then okay. So let's go back to the Supreme Court. So dealing with affirmative action. There's first of all, there was so much misconception about it. A lot of people just saw it as like a handout or just thinking unqualified Negroes were just getting the job solely because of the color of the skin, calling it reverse racism and all of that. And that was never the case whatsoever.
girl. Like I keep telling these motherfuckers, a black person, honestly, any POC, cannot be considered racist because in order to be racist, you have to have some form of power, you know. And systemically,
I didn't
black
mean to
people,
pick that map, but okay.
other POCs don't have any power, especially in this country. And what I mean by that is that like I said earlier, you are more likely to get any type of job or income. You are more likely to do a lot of things in this country because of the color of your skin. Now, a lot of people don't want to believe that. A lot of people don't want to see that, but at the end of the day, it's real. It's real, you know.
Right.
And it's people don't people and again most white people believe that racism is like me actively being racist to you, like me calling you the N word, yada yada. That's not only racism. There's such a thing called systemic racism, which is the political and like economic stance on a lot of things in this country that other people cannot do. Like, I know a lot of people, especially I know a lot of white kids who grew up and they had good credit. Just straight out the womb, they had good credit. You know? And there I
Yeah.
know a lot of black kids and their moms had to, take out credit cards and other shit in their names because they couldn't afford to live. Most, not all, most white kids don't have to work. Now there are some,
Yeah,
kids
we
who,
okay, so that's the other misconception. Like people think, well, not all white people are as privileged and wealthy,
hmm
but the whole point that behind white privilege is like you don't have to worry about knocking on someone's door and getting blown
hmm
away.
yes,
You don't have to worry like with the if the cops pull you over, most likely you're going to survive that interaction.
yes.
You know what I mean? Or what is this map? Who picked this? Like, why are there so like big gaps in these? You know what? I'm just saying, like, I love Mario Kart. It will get you tilted. It will get you like so tilted. But like, who designed these maps? Like, this is insane. Okay, my goal is just don't finish last. That's my goal here. I don't want to finish last. Let's see if I can at least make it mid card. Okay. All right. Or okay, so that's the like basically like with white privilege. And then as you were saying, like yes, there are plenty of white people that are legacies. You know what I mean? Where we, as today, we still have people that are first generation going to college. That's the difference. Like the whole point of affirmative action was to start leveling the playing field and not just to hire
hmm
or like select people that were unqualified. We were going to find qualified, diverse people of color um, to have in our spaces and to be more inclusive. And then people get upset when, we strive to have like our own spaces, like
hmm
You know what I mean? Like the BET Awards or what's another example? Or we try to have like black owned businesses and things like that. Um, well, we have no choice but to go back to that and have our own spaces because it seems like we're getting pushed out again. You know, like the whole point, because people kept crying like, oh, they didn't get in Harvard because they let some black person in. Like, no, you didn't get in because you wasn't good enough. Your SAT scores were trash. Your GPA was not up to par. We have
Mm-hmm.
plenty of intelligent black people. I'm trying to like course I'm familiar with because I'm just like dying out here. You know what I mean? Um, the whole point was to seek out and give a helping hand for somebody that has the level of intelligence to have the skills necessary, but may not have the financial backing to do so. You know what I mean? So let's reach out to them and bring them into our space so they would have a chance. But that's being taken away now.
Girl, we live in
And
a third world country. Unless you got money, you can't do shit in this country. Period. And
uh,
I really, and it's horrible because I'll say the next 20, maybe 12 years, 12 to 20 years. I'll give it that. We are going to be living in the world in this country. We're going to be living in this country where if you don't meet the standard, if you don't meet above the standards of what it is economically now, then you're never going to reach basic necessities. You're always going to, and like we're no matter what, you're always going to never make ends meet. You can work a
ooh,
thousand fucking jobs. You're never going to make ends meet in this country. Period. Like for example, and don't like for example, okay, so I kind of touched about this earlier. So
where?
in 1989, Simpsons came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's when the first episode of Simpsons were aired. In 1989, Homer Simpson, again, this is a cartoon. Homer Simpson, a father of three kids, two animals, a dog and a cat,
Yeah.
and had two cars. That entire family, with a wife, that entire family lived off of Homer Simpson's, a man who did not go to college. They lived off of his one check that he had at a fucking factory. That was considered the norm in 1989.
Ugh.
I cannot wrap my fucking head around how how that was considered normal back then. You couldn't do that shit now. You couldn't have an entire family, a house, two cars, woo woo woo. You couldn't have all that surviving on one person's paycheck. If that was the case now, I'm pretty sure Homer Simpson would be probably living in an apartment just like fucking mine's. Like, because everybody's, oh, you need education, you need
Wait,
education, you need education. When education, and obviously you don't need fucking education because people are putting a lot in debt because of that. Like all this fucking student debt that we have and all this other shit, we're never gonna get out of it. We're never gonna get out of it. At this point, I'm just telling everybody, buy your debt. Once your debt has been sold to a debt collector, literally call them, you call them and pretend like you're a different debt collector, and you will sell your debt pennies on the dollar. Count that out. Look it up on TikTok. You could literally buy your student debt for pennies on the dollar. If you don't believe me, look it up on TikTok because they definitely show you. Like it's this kind. And also, I had a comment with my other friend the other day about what was it? What was it? They were basically looking for another job, but they was like the whole unqualified situation. Like she's an African American young lady, and he felt like she wasn't qualified enough. You know what I told her, Flo?
what?
I saw her lie, lie her ass off, and she said, "What you mean?" I said, "Baby, you ain't never gonna get the job of your dreams unless you do either A, nepotism, because that's how everybody getting the job that they need. Nepotism is the number one. Like you got to be the son, uncle, niece. Don't you got to at least know somebody in a position to have the a like-minded position. And if you don't got that, lie your fucking ass off.
Mm.
Go into the job interview, and they be like, "Hey, there's a gap in your resume. It's about a year to a half a year gap in your resume. You know what that's about?" I said, "Yes. It was. I did sign an NDA, so I can't, further discuss about it and yada yada yada." Lie, lie your ass off, because everybody else is fucking lying. Everybody else is fucking lying. Everybody else is living their life with money. You better lie. That's all I'm gonna say.
I mean, and it sucks that we had to resort to that. And that brings me to another point is like the way I'm looking at it is like we have to start creating our own spaces because it's just like for so long we've been, working just to be white adjacent. Like it
Hmm.
was never nothing has been done to really give us equal footing. Affirmative action was as close, but I'll give you the perfect example. Maybe mispronouncing the name of this movie. It's on Hulu. The Chandelier. Chandelier is French, and it's about this black classical music artist whose name it like if you know what I'm talking about, like you can look it up real quick, Saquon.
Hey,
Um,
let me look it up.
it's
You
on
says French.
Hulu. I recently watched it. It came out in 2022.
Okay.
And basically it's about like, the slave owner, the slave owner had this kid. He found out that he's like super talented at the violin and wants to put him in like the best school in France. Um, because he was so exceptional. And he told him, as long as you are great and you have to be your absolute best at everything, they're going to accept you. And part of like his journey in the movie was realizing it was like no matter how good he was,
Hmm.
like he was besting everybody, not just like musically, but he was like fucking them up in fencing, whoever wanted to smoke.
Oh,
He was
that's
like,
based off a real person. You know that, right?
yeah, yeah. That's why I was watching it. And and he bested Mozart, like battled
Yes.
him with the violin, like was eating everybody. And to the point where he was like buddy with Marie Antoinette and all of
Hmm.
that. And like this may be spoilers if you haven't watched it. I'm not gonna give too much away because I think like that's the perfect example of this common myth that we as black people is always told, like we always do our
Here it
best
is. I
and
found
be
it.
what's the name of the dude?
Uh, Chevalier.
Chevalier, but like that's not his name, that was his title.
Hmm. But that's the name of the movie.
That's the name of the
It
movie.
was, yeah, the name
But
of the
what's the
movie is
name of the
Chevalier.
guy?
True story about the composer of Joseph. Uh, Joseph Bologna. I don't know how to pronounce that. Chevalier de Saint George.
Okay, so this yeah, Joseph St. George, like his story was just like so sad, and I was so angry. But like the ending was so sad about it because y'all have to watch it, and I'm gonna have to do a review on it because the way it ended was like so goddamn gangsta. It was like this is
Hmm.
a very black movie, and I was very satisfied with it, and was pleased to learn about this person. But it just dispels the myth, like okay, as long as you do exceptionally well at everything, you'll be fine. Because it's like,
Hmm.
everybody's like, oh, you just have to work harder. You're not working hard enough to get, X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, that wasn't the case. Like, this dude was crushing everything.
Everything.
Like,
They don't even. You know what's crazy? This person who has been said multiple times that is better and has bested Mozart multiple times. And he was not only good at a musician, but he was also he was a world class fencer as well. They
yes,
don't
like,
even
he
teach
was
him in the
like,
fucking. They don't even
what?
teach his ass in the history books. I think that's
Because
fucking
they
crazy.
erased him. He
They
erased him
did.
because eventually he ends up, like, going against Marie Antoinette because she a whole op anyway. Because it's
Hmm.
like,
Hmm.
you had the power to give him what he deserved, and you were like, "Oh, the people are already against me. Like, I can't really like give you any more power because you're black." And it was really messed up.
girl,
like super messed up. And
ghetto.
I'm like, you can have it back because like he would defend her at every turn, you know what I'm saying? And she just like turned her back on him. Like I was just saying this, you have to watch it. I'm giving too much away, but like you just have to watch it. Like part of me is trying to figure out like how I can get my students to watch it this summer. Um, but they're probably not going to see it because it looks like a period piece, but it's like it's
It is a
so
period piece, but it's so
it's
good.
so juicy, is like scandalous, and like I said, it has a very gangsta ending to it. Why did it throw it back? You know what I mean? So I would just say, um, just check it out for real. And again, it just showcased like, cause it's still true to this day. Like you can be at the very pinnacle of your field, and people will still try to find a way to keep you from being at the very top. And what caused? Okay, whatever. Um, will just put obstacles in your way and like keep you from being, like your absolute best. And it just sucks. Like I so close. I was not that far behind this time, but Jesus Christ. But yeah, let me see if I could do a battle. I'm not having luck in racing, but maybe I could do better in a battle. Because I'm like
I
losing,
thought
losing.
I'm on YouTube. I thought one of my YouTubers did a video about him, and maybe not. I know I seen it. I know I originally seen a video on YouTube about him, and it was really funny. Oh my god, where is that damn video?
Uh, but yeah, I mean, and it's disheartening because we like as an educator, we always tell our students like we emphasize that you always have to be your best. You always have to take these certain types of opportunities. But it's just like, is that enough anymore?
Hmm.
Because it's
Not
clearly
only
it's
that.
it's evident that we can only control so much. We could do stuff on
Hmm.
our end, but
Hmm.
when like there's this major hurdle, like, such as laws that are being used against us, then it's like, what are we to do? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I'm very concerned, like when they hear this, they feel like they're in a completely hopeless situation. So I don't, but I would say this. I think I'm hearing more from students like they want to start their own, Lord, start their own business, and I'm grateful to really hear that. Oh, okay. I mean, like, no, I really did not want to throw that at all. Oh my God, I almost blew myself up. Okay. Okay. This, can I get, I don't got any bombs. Need a bomb. Can I get up? There's several bombs. Back, oh, there were like three bombs right there. Oh my God. Can, can, is there somebody? Oh, I'm pressing the wrong button. I'm sitting down. Move! Move! Okay. 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 I just need to get my bearings. Okay. Oh wait. This is okay. Somebody in front of me. Well,
I will say I am so sorry, but I'm gonna have to cut this a little short.
yeah.
I'm gonna head out.
After this, I'll probably wrap up. I thought I would do better.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. But
I'm just.
I'm wrapping up
I'm just.
now. It was great on the podcast. By the way, guys, if you haven't noticed, my name is Quan Clark. You'll follow me on my social media. Twitter is sorry. My Twitter name is Gin_Hicks HICKS. You can also follow me on Instagram, which is the same thing, Jen Hicks 121. See you guys. Bye, Flo.
Bye. And I would just wrap up to say this because after this I'm just like close it out. I would just say for those that are feeling in despair and like feel so defeated by the Supreme Court decision, um, it this gives us the opportunity to create our own spaces. Prior to um, the the rights movement, we had more black owned businesses. So maybe, not maybe. I know there's like several queer owned businesses that will provide services for their own community. And can I get one hit? I'm just gonna start throwing. Can I get a hit? Make it can last forever. Oh, I don't have any bombs. And 1 second left. Well, all right. I'm gonna just have to do just practice more offline, just to get better, so y'all have a better show. But I would just like I want to close out saying this because like I don't just like to leave angry, just be mad at an issue. Like I want to have some type of solution and be more goal oriented. No, I want to. Oh wait, shoot, back out. Yes. No, I want to back out. I want to back out. Yes, leave the group. All right. I just want to like just say this. For those that are heavily impacted by the Supreme Court decisions, now that we know the rules of the game, we can work to better navigate through it. You know what I mean? If they're not going to forgive student loans, then we have to approach college differently. We are going to have to, maybe we can't do the dorms and live on campus and go far away. Maybe we have to go online, do part-time, find jobs that do tuition reimbursement. Uh, that may have to be the path. And I've done that myself. I commuted to school. I got my master's online, so it's doable. Um, your right to education shouldn't be hindered whatsoever. That is your choice. And then also maybe we should just, I mean, people have been saying this for a while, just to steer people more towards trade school, you know, uh just so that you won't have to be living in debt because we always feel like your college degree is worth it, but the amount of debt that's being accumulated and the way that people are really struggling out here, like 3 ATMs were hit in my community. So people are really desperate and struggling financially. And it's just getting worse. So we just have to approach education differently and refine it at the secondary level, meaning like, middle school, high school, so that our students are better prepared for the real world and don't have to be consumed by debt. um, for in regards to affirmative action and turning down services to LGBTQ, like I said, we're just gonna have to work to create our own spaces. So more Black-owned businesses, support Black-owned businesses, and support uh, LGBTQ owned businesses. It's clear that our country is not is it's currently in a space where they're trying to disenfranchise the marginalized group. That is very evident. So what we have to do now that we know how they're playing the game, we have to get our pieces in order and come up with better strategies to navigate this. For those that choose to stay in the country, my plan is still giving you know, find another country. So that because it shouldn't be like this whatsoever. This is not how government is supposed to be taking care of its people. They keep saying it's the land of the free, but it's like free for who? So again, for those that are LGBTQ, that are people of color who are dealing with debt, bars should just like treat y'all to a free drink this weekend. So stay safe this holiday, and yeah, just buckle up, y'all, because it's looking like it's gonna give a bumpy ride. I'll catch you guys next time.